It is one big question that nobody seems to want to answer. How many people did federal agents actually arrest during the ICE raids across the Denver metro area yesterday? Thanks for joining us for 9 News at 5. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. We know federal agents hit at least 7 locations during what they described as a series of targeted operations. We still don't know if they found anyone or who they were looking for.
Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates joins us now. And Kevin, federal officials still remaining tight-lipped about the results of these very public raids.
Well, Kim and Tom, consider this. When the first raid like this unfolded in Adams County last month, we were told within hours that 49 people had been arrested. It's been a completely different story this time around.
Well, President Trump's made a promise to American people that we're going to concentrate on trying to hide. They're one of our priorities.
That's Border Czar Tom Homan talking to reporters today outside the White House, talking about TDA, a gang that became synonymous with a broken immigration system after this video surfaced. Video shot in an Aurora apartment house. It led directly to Wednesday's raids in Denver, Aurora, unincorporated Arapahoe County, and Thornton. As those raids started, federal officials posted a message saying they were targeting more than 100 TDA members. Asked specifically how many people were arrested, Homan didn't answer and suggested that a leak of details of what was planned compromised the operations.
As far as yesterday, operational security, the operation was leaked.
We've been unable to get even a ballpark figure from any of the federal agencies involved. Fox News, which had a crew embedded with federal agents yesterday, reported they made about 30 arrests. That's in line with what 9 News reporters and photographers saw on the ground. And as for members of Tren de Aragua, there was at least one. The acting head of the Denver Office of Homeland Security Investigations provided details on the arrest of one man he identified as a fugitive from Chile.
He is a known TDA member, and he was wanted for kidnapping and extortion from another country.
This isn't a game.
For his part, Homan promised to investigate the leak and promised more busts.
So as we address that, you're going to see the rest increase.
This afternoon, an Immigration and Customs Enforcement official in Colorado said we had to send our questions to Homeland Security in Washington. He gave us a generic email address. We sent our questions. So far, we've not gotten a response. Live in the newsroom, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
It'll take time, but I know we're still looking for the accountability. What did happen? What took place? Thanks, Kevin.
South Metro Fire says one person is in custody and facing possible arson charges after a fire broke out at a senior living center in Centennial today. Officials say that fire broke out at the Centennial Crossing Senior Living Center on East Fair Place just before 7 this morning. When crews arrived, they had to evacuate the center to tackle a unit on the 4th floor. South Metro says the fire was quickly contained thanks to the sprinkler system in the unit. However, 3 residents were displaced due to the fire and water damage. Sheriff investigators say the cause of the fire is under investigation.
A plan in Loveland that would have turned a church into a homeless shelter is not going to be moving forward. The First Christian Church withdrew their plan today. They've been working with the Loveland Homelessness Task Force, trying to rezone the property for a 24/7 homelessness resource center and an overnight shelter. However, Loveland City Council voted to table the proposal indefinitely back in December, citing the need for an impact study. The church claims there was no information regarding the scope or duration of that study, so they decided to withdraw their application. The Loveland Homelessness Task Force announced today it will officially dissolve, saying the council showed a, quote, lack of commitment to pursuing proven homelessness solutions. The task force says they will continue to address homelessness through independent grassroots efforts.
Thousands of King Soopers employees are now on strike in the Denver metro area, and 2 more stores in southern Colorado will join them tomorrow. The union that represents all of these workers says they're striking because of unfair labor practices, a claim the grocery store chain denies. The union's president says the biggest issue they have is lack of staff. They say employees are having to do more because fewer people are working in the stores.
We went from the pandemic where the company made more money than they've ever made before. And yet we've seen since 2019, they continue to make record profits, but they are reducing staff in these stores.
King Soopers says they're hiring people every day, and while this 2-week strike continues, the company says they've hired 1,500 temporary employees, and they're prepared to hire more. Today, we're learning of a ripple effect stemming from the strike. The Girl Scouts of Colorado says troops won't be selling cookies in front of impacted King Soopers stores this weekend. In a letter sent to parents, the Girl Scouts say scheduled cookie sales are canceled through the strike to avoid any safety concerns.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked the government from the proposed mass buyout of federal government workers. The judge in Boston making that decision in a short hearing today, blocking the Fork in the Road program, saying this will allow concerned parties a little more time to examine their arguments. The injunction requires federal agencies to tell the workers who received the buyout offer that it has been blocked until Monday. That's when the federal labor unions will get a chance to get a restraining order to try to fully block the program.
Much cooler day in Colorado today, still sunny. Don't worry, the warm weather returns tomorrow to kick off your Friday. Then we'll hit the mid-60s and then some gusty wind and then, Kathy, other things.
Other things, a little cold and a little bit of snow for the weekend. That's right, today 52 downtown, 49 at the airport, but without the really gusty winds that we saw yesterday. It was a pretty nice afternoon and evening now as well. Not entirely calm as we await the next storm system that will start to bring mountain snow showers within the next 12 to 24 hours. Temperatures still in the 40s and 50s as the sun's getting ready to set here within the half hour. Winds are fairly light at the surface, but we do have some gusty winds around DIA, Byers, Strasburg, and over elevated terrain like Kenosha Pass, Loveland Pass, and the Red Cliff area. So we're watching that closely. This in advance of a weather system that will bring some moderate snow to the northern and central mountains with a brand new winter weather advisory that goes out tomorrow for 6 to 12 inches of snow across Rabbit Ears Pass and right down through the Elkhead and Park Mountain Range areas. The temperature trend for Denver tonight and tomorrow will be really pretty nice ahead of a much colder weekend and chance for light snow, not just on Saturday morning, but maybe on Sunday as well. I'll have the timing of these new weather changes coming up in just a bit.
The DU community is preparing to honor the life and legacy of former Chancellor Daniel Richie. Richie passed away last week at the age of 93. He was instrumental in the growth of DU, taking over in 1989, eventually becoming the namesake of the university's Richie Center sports complex. He'll be honored next Thursday morning at 10:30 with a public memorial at Magnus Arena. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston, Governor Jared Polis, and several other Colorado senators are set to attend.